What's up, y'all? Prince Sports over here, man. Giving you that raw sports stimulus package. And I watched yesterday as the Chicago Bulls routed the Lakers. I mean, they ran them boys dry. They don't even deserve to be called the Lakers at that point because that lake was dry. Okay? The Bulls stampeded those boys. And one thing that got me thinking was DeMar DeRozan. He dropped ether on the Lakers last night, but he was another guy that was supposed to be joining the Lakers. He even said he thought that it was a complete done deal that he was going to the Lakers, right? He was a free agent in free agency. He'd come out and admit the truth that he thought he was going to the Lakers. That's the team that he lobbied for as an LA native. Now imagine him on the Lakers. For starters, if you didn't have Russell Westbrook, he'd still be a better fit. He could shoot the mid-range. He could score in a lot of ways, and he don't have to be your main option because your main option is AD and LeBron. Um, but if they found some way to get him and Westbrook, okay, they would have a completely unfair advantage over people. Um, they'll be taking that super team term, quote unquote, to the next level, and that's just too much firepower. You're supposed to win with all that firepower. Imagine with the Mellos and the Dwight Howards and all the future Hall of Famers and current former All Stars that they had, all on one team. Okay, that'd have been overkill. Now, what some people don't get, they think when we use the term, like, for example, when we use the term super team, that doesn't mean um, we're saying that a team doesn't have a right to be good or stuff like that. What we're saying is it's not fun and it's a no-brainer when you steal talent from other teams and bring them all on one team. And when you got players coming together just to be on one team, that defeats the purpose of competition. You know, the whole term super team, that's a LeBron thing. That started with LeBron. And it's going to probably either continue or die with LeBron if his career ends, okay? Um, he's a first example of what we call a super team because we never seen guys from multiple teams join together during free agency and they all pile together for one team. It's like they all pick the best players from the playground and say, let's all play together. So imagine DeMar DeRozan on the Lakers team. Just imagine that. And imagine if they had some way to get Westbrook. You could actually pitch and say they would have probably had four and a half All Stars. Okay? Because if DeMar was putting up those same type of numbers on the Lakers, which he's more than capable of putting, with Russell Westbrook, with AD and LeBron, that's four All Stars, and you got half of an All Star with Carmelo Anthony, they have been super stacked, which would be an unfair advantage, and you'd be saying, hey, they supposed to win. So I kind of found it funny that DeMar didn't get signed to the Lakers because he thought it was a done deal. So that means he was pitching to go to the Lakers this whole time, and he thought it was a wrap. Maybe he thought his agent was going to wrap the deal, sign, seal, and deliver. But I think they probably went the Westbrook route because, like I said, they couldn't afford. I don't think they could afford both Westbrook and DeMar because DeMar wanted his bag too, and Russell Westbrook is going to get his bag. You got to take on that contract as well. So thank God for salary caps. Because if it wasn't for salary caps, a lot of these teams would be stacking the deck even more, you know, with no remorse towards anything and towards competition. You know, so yeah, that's the story of DeMar DeRozan, man. He thought he was going to the Lakers. What do you thought or think how DeMar DeRozan would have fit with the Lakers instead of his role that he has with the Bulls? Would have been better instead of Westbrook? I think it was because he creates balance. I think he creates balance. If you don't have Westbrook, but you have AD and LeBron and DeMar DeRozan, it's not so quite super, right? Because DeMar DeRozan is not really, he's like a guy that's, you could say, a former All-Star. He's not, considered an All-Star anymore. Even though he has All-Star capabilities, it's still been a more even playing field, if you ask me. Prince Sports out. Peace.